But in all seriousness, I loved the book.
Thanks, man.
It gave me some peace for those 2 or 3 days I was reading it.
Cool.
And it's on the shelf in the other room. I'll have it forever.
Thoughts of rape were
you,
far
man.
from his mind.
Yes, it took me. Those books were all about escapism, and I appreciated it.
I have it. So I often daydream about how I'd get by in prison. Not well, by the way. Was reading books a way for you to not get yourself in trouble, to self-isolate? Because that might be something that works.
It was a big part of it. I felt like if I was sitting in my bunk with a book,
Who could
not
hate
only
that?
would know what's that?
Who could hate that, right? Like,
Who could hate that? Because like you might have this idea, like maybe not, that like somebody's gonna be like, look at the bookworm, but it's not high school. We're all locked the fuck down. All right. So like the toughest cholo, the meanest gangbanger, like you can I literally, like, my best buddy was like a Texas cholo, fucking meth dealing, murdering 45-year-old man. And we were working out one day, and I told him, he's like, yo, what you been reading in your bunk? Look, that's a thick book. And I'm like, that's Harry Potter, man. Yeah, is it good? I was like, it's pretty good. This kid, he grows up and he's a wizard, but he doesn't know it. And then he finds out, and he gets to go into this magical world of witchcraft and wizardry, and he finds out that he's pretty important to the whole world. Oh, that sounds tight. You mind if I start on book 1? You on like 3? Yeah, man.
I can't believe I never heard of this book before.
He hasn't, because he's been locked up for 20 fucking years. He doesn't know about Harry Potter. So,
he doesn't know about Harry Potter.
So literally, I'm loaning this scary motherfucker Harry Potter, and I see him over there reading Harry Potter book 1, a page an hour or something like that.
Oh, God.
And he's like, it's a little hard to read, And I'm thinking, like, I read that shit when I was 10 or something, man. But I don't say that. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of words in there, and pages.
Very dense and complicated Harry Potter.
So the Muggles are like the Latin kings.
You should have done the machine thing and reused everybody's jokes.
Jews, right? They don't want nobody to get the money.
Man, I'm wanting to read this goblin stuff. This is far be it from me to accuse someone of bigotry, but this lady, she's a little anti-Semitic. Why come the only ones who are goblins are like the banker? I'm just saying.
So yeah, no, it was definitely a way to self-isolate and like really be to myself, because I felt like maybe if I've got a book in front of me, maybe I just won't get approached for anything, including rape, or like
someone with both hands around a book has no hands left for prison gay sex.
I don't know. It was just like, I'm here doing my own thing. Leave me alone. And but yeah, it was a little bit of
the thought of
escapism.
prisoners thinking that you're really smart because you're reading Harry Potter and Stephen King up there and calling you the professor. Man, that's a professor. You got a problem in here? You ask him, man. He's got it all figured out.
Was any of it this? And this is a bigger Woody issue than Kyle issue. I feel like every minute I talk to these guys is a minute that I am risking saying the wrong thing. Right, and if I just read, then I don't fuck anything up. Maybe not your thoughts.
No, I feel like I'm good at that for whatever reason. Like I can read the room pretty well, and like I let them do a lot of the talking to like see what level of like, are we going to talk about criminal shit? Are you a racist? And if so, which races do you hate? I need to know that going in.
Me too.
Mirror it.
Yeah.
And then you mirror it. Yeah. Like it or not.
Like at the doctor's office, they give you a clipboard and the pen and pencil, and you got to fill it out and hand it in so they know.
I have a newfound disgust for Venezuelans.
Yeah, for real. Like Cubans, no good. No good. We don't like the Cubans. Like you find out right away. Snow did not like Cubans. Snow did not like black people. But he would. Oh God. We would be walking. There's a big like track. Like
Snow's
you have
a
it
tough guy.
And Snow's so tough. So and like he would do chin ups with like medicine balls in a bag that he clipped onto his waist, just fucking cranking them out. Like every quarter mile we'd walk or jog, he'd crank a bunch more out. Anyway, and he was just like, the blacks, they got a word. They don't like you to call them that. And I'm like,
oh,
yeah, no, man. I think everyone knows. You know the word. It's and I see him winding up to drop an N-bomb. You know, like he's winding up to drop a big fat one, and I'm looking around like there's so many big black guys around us, and he drops it hard, and I'm just like. Yeah. I've heard that word before. Yeah, I'm aware they don't like that. Yeah, it's, and then he just goes, bigger, bigger. They don't like that when you say it to them. When you like, hey, bigger, and they hate it. And I'm just like, stop, please stop.
Oh my God, horrifying.
I'm not down. like he's always ready to fight or do whatever needs to be done. Like I just want to do my 60 days. I just want to escape.
Yeah. Doesn't it become like it's just your life at that point? Like you have these preconceived notions of what it would be like to be locked up like that. And you've seen movies and people have talked about it that hadn't experienced it. But then when you're actually you in there and they're shutting the door on you and whatnot, doesn't it I'm not going to say it's easier, but it's you, and you're just in another situation that you have to get through. It's not a special anything different magically. It's just still a bad situation that you need to get through.
Yeah, to me, it was about setting a schedule and finding a few things that were like creature comforts that would like that would kill X amount of hours every 24 hours. It was like having the day planned out in segments that would eat that day up.
That's why when they talk about the death penalty versus life in prison and they say, well, at least he'll be suffering in prison. It's like, I understand there's no freedom and everything, but people are very adaptable. It just becomes your new life. Like that's now what you do.
Yeah.
And,
I think I'd rather die.
You're not 24 hours a day going, oh my God, I'm suffering in prison. Like you'll laugh, you'll talk to people, you'll have a good time, even though your freedoms have been taken away. But I don't think it's as bad as the death penalty. Or
that's how I felt about working in an office. Like,
yeah, exactly. There are some jobs that are that bad.
Yeah, where I was, definitely I would prefer that over the death penalty because it's low security. There was a medium security prison like on the same facility, like we called it up the hill because you could like see it. It's up on the hill, and it's where I went initially to like get like stripped down and put in my prison jumpsuit and all that jazz, do my paperwork, and they would have stabbings and killings and like legit gang activity going on up there. And they would threaten you with that. They're like, you fuck up here, you go up there. And I saw 2 or 3 guys fuck up at the low and get sent up there. And it's like, he ain't going to make it.
Is there also like is there a prestige in being able to make it? I used to play B-League hockey, right? And some of those guys would do well in A-League hockey. And it was like, yeah he's playing with us, but only because he prefers Sundays to Tuesdays. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple different classes. So there's a couple different like experience levels. Like we're all like RPG characters in this little low security prison. Some of us, like me, did a real not so serious thing, and that's why we're there. But some of the guys did 10 or 15 at a high security or a medium security and earned their way down.
Oh,
but they're like that fucking rescue dog that has seen some shit. You could tell, like he'll live in your house and he'll get along with your regular puppy, but he's this far away from fucking ripping a throat out and shitting on the carpet.
On top that baby shakes the rattle a little too violently. Face coming off.
Does that put him like? Do people give that a certain kind of respect? Like. Don't fuck with you. Poke that guy one time and he'll rip your face off.
You could tell who you didn't want to fuck with. Like they were physically bigger. They just had a look about them, and oftentimes they were in positions of power within like the they ran the laundry. Like he's the boss of all the laundry. He writes the schedule. He chooses who gets hired. Don't fuck with that guy. And sure enough, that guy had been down, as they say, for nearly 20 years, and he was not a nice man. He's the one I had the shouting match with over the televisions.
By shouting match,
television.
By shouting match, Kyle means being shouted at.
Yeah. I shouted back. No, I shouted back because I felt like I couldn't be completely punked out. Now I did change the channel back to where he wanted it. I will fully admit that, but I didn't completely bitch out.
Man, you don't change that back to Telemundo, I'm gonna rape you.
That was the thing.
I want you to know I'm doing this under protest.
Yes, but only because I also want to learn spin.
It was like, this is the white people TV, dude. Like,
Oh, shit.
like, and that's a thing. Like, there was ESPN, Black People TV, Mexican People TV, White People's TV. We had 4 TVs, the way I recall it.
Wow.
And I'm not touching that Black People TV. You
It
get some
seems very
shit. They
simple.
thought.
Watch Frasier.
Simple and straightforward.
Yeah, they should have labels above it.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't need
Just
the
different
labels.
colored
Look
duct
at who's
tape.
sitting in front of it. Look at who's sitting in front of it. You'll figure it out real quick. And what's on it? The Black people are watching fucking VH1, a bunch of like Black housewives with big asses and titties hanging out, like talking. It's like Basketball Wives and shit like that. And the white guys are watching the fucking History Channel over there or CNN. And the Mexican guys are watching either Telemundo or fucking some. It's oftentimes a soap opera because like Mexican soap operas have so much sex and so much titties.
Okay, I'm actually curious because what would happen? Listen to this lineup. You got a History Channel or who knows what's on it, and big Black basketball wife, whatever. Can I sit there? Am I allowed?
You can sit, absolutely. You can sit wherever you want. Oftentimes, Black guys would slide over with us, and he'd be like, "Hey, what are you watching?" And I'm like, it's this shit about the guy who invented Hershey's chocolate. It's History Channel. It's like the history of like American products. I'm like, this is the motherfucker that invented cornflakes. And he's like, God damn, I love cornflakes. He like tunes his headset in to like learn about, and me and this Black guy who's like scary as fuck learn about cornflakes that day.
I might turn that brownie into an Oreo just by sitting there.
Yeah.
In the
There's
middle.
no issue. You could sit wherever you wanted. I actually, as long
Not
as
quite
there's
wherever
room.
you wanted.
As long as there's room, because there is
Oh.
assigned seating. Not only there's assigned spots, which is where the chair goes, and there are assigned chairs, and they're very different things.
Wow.
Now, he's not going to take your chair, but he will take your fucking spot that the chair is in. You'll be sitting in your chair in this spot, and he'll be like, "It's my spot," and I'm like,
Oh.
No. See, this is my chair. It's got my number on it. See, it's the one that has the pentagram on the back. Literally did. It's got the pentagram and 666 underneath it. He's like, yeah, but that's my spot. Your chair is in.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. Well, I guess I'll scoot.
Loophole.
like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Wow. That's a
The guy was a
powerful-
bank robber.
I'll have you know, I ordered a small amount of marijuana.
What was the actual?
So
what,
tread
did,
carefully.
what did you say to people when they like asked you what you were in?
I
in there
foolishly
for?
told him the truth.
And
Is
what
that
was
bad?
the actual
Should you have
thing
lied?
that
Oh, go ahead.
you told people?
I should have lied.
Should have been like,
Answer
yeah, I'm in
both
here
questions.
for killing a bunch of people who did whatever you did.
So,
Yeah.
so Anthony asked, what did you actually do? And I asked, why is it better to lie? Can you hit both?
Well, I told him the truth. I told him exactly what I was there for because I thought maybe that would, they'd be like, that's bullshit, dude. Don't worry. You'll be out in 30 days. It's cool. You know, this and that. No need for me to rape you. You'll be, I don't even have enough time to teach you how to suck good dick in 60 days. You know,
You thought the prisoners would say, "Oh, you don't belong here. We're gonna be."
a lot.
Yeah.
Some did. Some did. Some were like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I killed a cop. You know, but like some of the what I should have said is like trafficking. I was moving like, you know, 10 pounds of methamphetamine.
Trafficking sounds good.
Trafficking.
Yeah.
I was charged with trafficking at one point. I beat the rap on that one. And not that I beat the rap. I didn't do it. I was innocent. So I said, so I told him the
Lawyer,
truth.
fuck me.
Shit, he warned me about this. So I should have said something like that was more impressive and a little more prestigious and suggested that I was a little more hardcore than I actually was. Because what happened was, and I've told the story before, so I won't like dwell on it too much, is like they thought maybe I was part of 60 Days In. Maybe there's some kind of I'm a narc.
God, right.
I'm part of some, maybe I'm a narc or something. I'm there to like get him. So they a lot of the guys wouldn't talk around me about anything. Not that they were up to no good, but like they had knives, and not knives to hurt people, but knives to like cut up food. You know, you're not allowed a real fucking knife to cut
They
up an
probably
onion.
do both.
You're not allowed an onion. like the onion itself is contraband, and the knife to cut the onion is also contraband. And it was a while before I learned the hidden places where then all the knives were. And there were a lot of knives hidden in like various spots. And I'd be like, hey, I really need a knife. He'd be like, yo, what kind of knife you need, Weto? He called me Weto, which means whitey, I think, in
White,
Spanish.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have said I was in for something scarier because a lot of guys thought I was a narc and didn't like me. And some of the guys, I was warned that. Oh, we lost Anthony, I think maybe.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh my God.
And then I had one incident where I was in my bunk reading a book, and this guy that I was friendly with, this like 50, 60-year-old black guy who I had told, like, hey man, when I get out, you can have my radio and my headsets, which is like giving him $120 of prison money, essentially, which is a big deal.
It comes slowly.
Yeah, it comes real slowly. You can only use it's a whole thing. And his radio was busted, and I wasn't going to be. Who needs a fucking Walkman radio on the outside? You know what I mean? So I was like, hey man, when I leave, this is yours. And he was like super appreciative. So he comes to me one day and he's like, yo, just want to let you know there's some guys over there talking, and they want to get with you.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, excuse me? Yeah, guy over there, he said he wants to get with you. And I'm like, get with me. You know? And so that was like 2.5 weeks in or something like that, when I just started to feel comfortable with the routine and the shower and like the working out, and the sleep schedule was kind of working out. I was sleeping, a good 12 hours a day. So like half my time is in the bed. I'm out. And then I got all my books, and then there's a rape threat.
I'd like to tell you the sisters never got to cop.
Yeah,
That's more of an overture. I don't know if I'd call that a rape threat so much.
It was a rape warning. It was a rape warning.
Sounded like he was just coming on to
like
you.
check yes or no on a vibe.
Right. Yeah, like I'm getting from this that he was making a pass at you.
Oh,
he was letting me know there was somebody else who was wanting to get with me, and there was talk of rape in there. There were some people who had been raped. There were some people who were like willing participants and just, like to get it on with some other dudes because we're in here for a long time and there ain't no girls. And I was just like, I don't want to get with anybody, and I'm not going to go down with a fight, but I don't want to fight. I just want to read, see how this all works out with Voldemort, and go home. All right. Like, and he was just like, I'm just letting you know. And I'm just like,
oh my God.
Fuck. I was so stressed out after that. And you can't tell anybody. Like the last thing I'd want to do in that situation is like get a guard and like, excuse me, Officer Moore, there's a bad man somewhere who wants to rape me. Like, oh God. I'd have gotten raped if I'd done that. That would have been a rape.
That's the worst part of prison. Like, that's the part that prison just seems like, oh, you hang out, you get your meals, you might have to get into a fight every so often, but like, it's the rape part that really makes people not want to go to prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, aside from the rape, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. See, it's like, you hang out. It's camp.
If I didn't have like, I've got a nice life on the outside. I really enjoy my life. I have all these freedoms. I have great family and friends, and I really enjoy my house. And I like watching movies and playing video games. I like going out with my friends. I like doing this and that. So not having that was a real problem. But I feel like if I was just like a criminal, it's like, well, shit, this is just like everyday life. We had TV, we got cable TV. You get to work out. You got gym equipment. Well, homemade gym equipment, but gym equipment nonetheless. It's not so bad. The food is okay. So yeah, don't go to jail. It's not fun. Don't go to jail. You don't want to go to jail. It's not fun.
Yeah. Well, that great advice. Don't go to prison.
Yeah, that's my advice.
Mm-hmm.